Flopsy and the Easter Bunny Olympics, Part 17 of 40. 1,440 bunnies were herded into position at the 12 separate locations of their just completed competitions. Each leader at all 12 stations arranged their 10 dozen Easter Bunny wannabes into 10 columns 12 deep in preparation of the first round scores. At the 400-meter steeplechase competition area, Dodger stood facing her 10 dozen bunnies as we stood in an upright at-ease stance, just like the additional 11 dozen bunnies who stood facing their head judges while standing in their 10 across 12 deep formations around the Wells Fargo Arena. Each screen on the Jumbotron rotated from one 12 dozen fluffle to the next as Tempestus Laku's voice rang out across the arena's public address system. "Bucks and does, bunnies of all ages," Tempestus declared, a big buck-toothed grin flashing as he spoke. "Let us give a big round of paw-stomping applause to each and every one of our 12 gross of spectacular 10 and over Easter Bunny game contestants. What a turnout and what a field! Having been to many, many Easter Bunny games in the Omaha Arena, I'm absolutely overwhelmed by you bunnies here in central Chiwere-Siouan. You make me, Chiwere-Siouan's 3rd District, Monks River, and all proper citizens of Chiwere-Siouan, very proud. Let's hear another round of paw stomping, shall we?" he asked, stomping his paws repeatedly. "All of you should be proud for attending, proud for continuing the traditions of Easter, the traditions of Chiwere-Siouan, and especially for the 3rd District and all it represents," he declared, cutting through the noise of enthusiastic applause. "Come on, everybody, let's give these rabbits some more foot stomping." The names of everybody who made it through round number 1 will appear on each of our 16 fantastic Jumbotron screens, and each screen will rotate through the 12 competition areas. If your name appears on your screen, you know to stay put, but if your name doesn't, then don't fret, because if your name doesn't appear on today's screen, that just means you're one of the lucky bunnies who could always try again next year. So if you don't see your name, then say goodbye to your fellow competitors, wind your way off the arena floor, and find your family and friends who've been watching and cheering you on. "Okay, everybody," Tempestus Laku said in calmer tones, "let's give these great Easter Bunny game contestants one last paw stomp of applause as we set them on their way with that perennial favorite, 'Here Comes Peter Cottontail.'" Tempestus hollered as a musical prelude that introduced the Easter song rang clearly through the stadium before lyrics were added. As the lyrics started, seemingly everybody in the arena began singing, "Here comes Peter Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail, hippity-hopping, Easter's on its way," as a musical thank you and farewell to the first 360 bunnies who had been eliminated in round number 1 of Monks River February Easter Bunny Games. Meanwhile, I'd stood waiting for Tempestus Lakus to stop talking and the Jumbotron to start scrolling through the 16 screens with their 90 names each as they rolled in alphabetical order. Bustle's name appeared early on, and I, standing next to her, turned my head and beamed a huge congratulatory smile at her as the list scrolled along. Bustle continued to stare at the screen as we scanned for my name, and she turned and hugged me while emitting a squeal of joy as my name appeared. Bustle and I continued looking at the screen, and my shoulders visibly sagged as Woundwart's name scrolled downward. "Really?" Bustle declared quietly towards me. "I don't know how he could have made the cut. I think he must have gone around at least a third of the steeplechase obstacles." News that confirmed what I'd already suspected and caused me to wonder how Woundwart could have accumulated so many penalty points and still advance to round number 2.